Ugh, you guys, it's exhausting. Aren't you exhausted? Truly, truly. Aren't you exhausted by it? Like, truly. Is it true?
All right. Hello, and welcome back to a Saturday episode of Aren't You Exhausted? I am your host, Ashley, and joining me yet again is my lovely husband, Liam. Liam?
Hello. Technically a Sunday episode. It is 12:30. It's my fault. I was watching something later. But we're here now, and we're here now.
Good old wrestling got in the way.
It always does.
So, tonight's episode is going to be kind of on the longer side. I wanted to briefly touch on the current state of Gorlworld at the moment because it's very chaotic. Liam and I just have gotten ensnared in this somehow over the course of a few hours, and people are messy. Chantal is a stranger on the internet to most of the people and to the people that have a cult-like following to her. But even she, the person that these people cling to and take shit for, monetizes off of them, off of events even as drastic as the most recent event that I do not wish to talk on because I knew nothing about the person, the situation, and I just don't care. I mean, honestly, I care that somebody took their life, but I don't care about the situation going on.
Like, it doesn't affect you, and
it doesn't affect me.
You're not interested in that situation because really it's, look, we won't go into it because, I mean, I really don't care. But, yeah, I know what you're trying to say. It sounds bad, but in reality, it's not what you're interested in covering. You're not covering the people covering this shit. You're just like talking about the YouTube videos. And yes, because she mentioned it, technically it falls into, covering it. But to be fair, you're not interested in covering channels that cover these channels. You're not gonna be roped into all that shit, and that's fine.
But a lot of the people don't realize Chantal is still monetizing off of these tragedies in these people's lives, of the lives of the people that surround her, because she's still getting super chats and things in the live chats that she does discussing these things, and they're from people that sympathize with her losing a follower, losing somebody. They probably thought that Chantal was a friend, when in actuality, Chantal just abused these people as a paycheck.
I mean, yeah, that's the danger of these parasocial relationships where it's like people, you have Chantal's defenders who, some of them may see her and see themselves in her, or think that that they're friends or whatever it is. And then there's the other side, though, that the people that, commentate and give her shit, who also seem to almost take offense to the things she does, when in reality, Chantal's life does not affect anyone but Chantal. And the fact that these people get all up in arms about, either people shitting on her or the things she does, in reality, Chantal does not care about any of you. She's happy that she has an audience, but at the end of the day, she only wants an audience that is going to praise her and not question anything. And the truth is, you gotta put out the YouTube videos, the kind of content that she puts out does raise questions. And, obviously the audience is going to ask questions because that's just the nature of this platform. There is,
I believe, I feel like Chantal and Amberlynn does this too. They both use YouTube as therapy, and that's not what it's intended for. And that's why they get the backlash that they do, because they're not truthful with themselves. They're not truthful with their audience that they're telling this information to. And they've created, well, Chantal specifically has created like this cult-like following that she does no wrong by. And it's terrifying.
But I mean, it comes down to the fact that it's these people, And it's within every media. It's not just Chantal. I mean, obviously Chantal is a very small channel in the course of all.
But my thing with Chantal is she monetizes over these tragedies from her followers. And this is what got me the most out of monetizing off of this particular tragedy. She donated $50 to this woman's family's GoFundMe. This was one of her followers. One that she said was such a tragic thing to have happened. She's monetized the video, the live stream. She's accepting super chats, which I'm sure are not going to the family.
No.
She got $100. She got $100 super chat, which I'm sure did not go to that family.
I mean, that's a perfect example where it's like, here is a person talking about a tragedy, and instead of donating to the tragedy, they're donating to the person. And right there tells you all you need to know about these fucking people who obsess about her.
Yeah.
Like, well, I won't even say obsess about her, but it's just this weird. I mean,
they want to be seen by her.
I mean, the term is parasocial relation, where you think that you're friends with these people, but it's like, no, their job, whether you like it or not, it's her job, is to create content for you to watch. It is not her job to be your friend. She is not your friend. She is not your buddy. She likes you because you subscribe to her YouTube channel and you give her money. That's why she likes you. You walk down the street, she would not fucking blink an eye and she doesn't want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
These people need to learn that lesson. Any YouTuber you like, any streamer you like, anybody.
Well, that's the thing. These are like, I mean, granted, YouTubers aren't like super celebrities, but no, they are celebrities in people's eyes.
But they are. Honestly, that's not even true, because YouTubers now, they are some of the biggest celebrities.
I mean,
not these YouTubers, right? Not Chantal.
But they're not like celebrities, but they're on that same kind of wave.
But sometimes that's worse, because the smaller you are, the more reliant you are of your community. Like, if you're just a YouTuber making YouTube videos, that's one thing. If and you have like millions of views and all this shit, you make YouTube videos and you move on with your day. But the smaller you are, the more engaging you have to be with your audience, because you need your audience to have this relationship with you.
Yeah.
You require this audience to have a relationship with you, because people donating hundreds of dollars, you need them to have this unhealthy relationship with you. It's what you need to make this a job. And that's the problem. I mean, we could sit here all day and talk about it, but the truth of the matter is, people have done this video better. We're not here to talk about this. We're just here to comment on these two fucking weirdos.
Yeah, Chantal, she had like this whole live stream yesterday where it was supposed to be tribute to this woman, but this was all while trying to justify, in the same video, in the same live stream, justify her own behaviors that have aided to this toxic relationship with reaction channels by saying her husband's use of the phrase "go kill yourself" to some of her live chat members months prior was just joking around. He's a gamer and that's how they joke around with one another. Okay.
I mean, there's another gamer word we can start using if you want to throw those words around, which I believe Chantal has used all the super gamer words in the past.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or the fact that while in Cuba, she had wished death by hanging upon Nader, a former lover, which she explained away by just being upset and drunk over the ordeal with their relationship, not to mention her constant ridicule of Didi, Nader's lover, and talking down on her even before Didi had started sticking up for herself. But this was just before her newfound faith, so it doesn't count anymore. Right?
I mean, everyone's allowed to change, but I mean, look, I'm not mad at it. I personally, I don't really care. She can say whatever she wants. People can say whatever they want. It's not Chantal's responsibility. Honestly, I think it's not Chantal's responsibility to ensure that the mental health of her audience, every audience member, is mentally able to handle watching YouTube videos. But I think, Chantal should take some responsibility for how she conducts herself going forwards. I mean, obviously, this should be a lesson. Look, I'm not going to ask her to repent for past sins, because that's just not going to happen. yeah, she has shitty behavior, but she's not on a level where she can be canceled because she's just not popular enough that it, like...
I mean,
people-
if that were the case,
but
she
also-
was canceled a long time
also,
ago.
she's not, like, people who watch her, majority of them, they watch her because they like her shitty behavior. They like watching a train wreck. They don't watch her. It's not like she's this, like, highly respected person and it comes out that she was a racist and it's like, I can't, you know, support her anymore. It's the same with Chris Chan, one of the more famous, you know, kind of train wrecks in YouTube and all this stuff. People don't watch Chris Chan because they're interested in, they look up to him. They watch Chris Chan because well known, a fucking train wreck. So you can't be canceled if your whole fucking career is being cancelable. Like, that's why people are watching you. They're not watching you in a good light. They're watching you as a fucking joke.
And a few of the Gorlworld reactors are kind of going back and forth, kind of, I don't want to say violently, but like very aggressively back and forth at one another, trying to find someone to point the finger at for this poor woman's end, while profiting from it, though. And I hope this woman's family finds peace and her children and husband can manage and find a new normal in the wake of her passing, because I personally know how it feels to lose a parent, especially a mother, and it's something so sudden. That pain is horrible, and I would never wish it on my worst enemy. But that's all I'm saying about that. I'm not going to discuss the validity of anything there beyond Chantal's just toxicity in it.
Here's what I'll say, and you can cut this if it's a little too harsh.
Okay.
But I think that, you know, we talked a little bit about this, and while I think that there should be kind of, you know, I wish everybody in the world would be nice to each other, but that's just not the fucking world we live in. And if you're not mentally stable enough to handle negative feedback and negative input and people attacking you or criticizing you, then you should not be posting on YouTube. And the fact that, you know, her husband goes on and blames all these people, yet he should have been... I'm not saying it's his fault, but if you want to blame somebody, he should have stood up and seen that his wife was not handling this kind of shit. And, like, it's obvious she was fucking, like, mentally not, like, handling this like a normal human. And he should have stood up, you know, walked forward and did something about it. You know, if I saw you dealing with, like, harsh comments and anything, I wouldn't just stand around, let you kill yourself, and then blame the audience. No, like, it's my responsibility to look at my wife and say, hey, there's
something wrong.
Right, there's something wrong. We need to do something about this. Because you know who sees the true you is me. And the same with her. Like, yeah, there's shitty comments, but it's the internet. It's anonymity. You know, you're anonymous. You can say and do whatever you want, and there are no repercussions. And that allows people to be mean.
Also, this isn't something that's just towards YouTubers either. This is... celebrities go through this. Do you think a celebrity doesn't get talked shit about that people don't like?
I mean, look, I'm not saying it's right to talk shit about people. I'm not saying it's, you know, but I'm also saying there's the idea of a perfect world, and then there's the idea of the world we're living in, and you want to attack, you know, the husband's getting, like, the husband is guilt tripping, essentially, trying to make people feel bad for this woman killing herself. But at the end of the day, it's not their responsibility to do a mental health check with everybody. They didn't agree with what she was saying. They put the comments on her YouTube channel. Someone should have in her life been aware of her issues and talked to her about maybe stepping away from this shit. I mean, it's a fucking YouTuber who became a Muslim or whatever. It should not be the most important thing in your life. If you've got a fucking family, you need to get your shit checked. And I'm sorry, but I just don't like this idea that, you know, it's all a commenter's fault, and, like, the husband is going on trying to make them take responsibility for the fact that it's not their fucking responsibility to do a mental health check on your wife. She's making YouTube videos, and she's gonna get shit on for having shitty takes. I'm sorry. It sucks that it happened, but
No one's immune from it. Like,
Blaming anonymous people who fucking make a comment and move on with their day. That's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. Yes, I wish everyone was nice in the comments. But, sometimes you need to hear criticism. That's just a fucking fact of life. You need to hear criticism. You need to... And not all criticism is going to come out good. But every once in a while, you'll get criticism that is good. And it helps you become a better YouTuber or a better person or whatever it is. You have to be able to take the good with the bad. People cannot fucking treat you like,
life
a fucking egg, like a Fabergé egg. You have to be able to handle some shit. And if you can't handle it, it is your responsibility to figure out how, you go about this stuff. And posting shit on YouTube and getting into fights with people over shit is not the best way of handling your mental health. So, sucks that it happened. I'm sorry, but it's her fault.
Let's get into the lighter stuff now. Amberlynn posted a video telling us she should withdraw $10,000 and go on shopping sprees with her exes. Not with Jade. Sorry, Jade. Jade is our current girlfriend. But claims to be better with money now and no longer has a shopping addiction.
Better with money or just doesn't have any?
I guess better with...
I mean, if she's taking that $10,000 to go on shopping spree, she may not have the money to take out any.
No, she still makes decent money. I mean, she got a surplus of like 3,000 followers.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. She was on her way to meet with her bariatric team to possibly start the process of weight loss surgery. One thing I noticed throughout a lot of her video, though, was she was looking away from the camera. Like, she wasn't talking to her audience, but rather trying to think on the fly of things to discuss and how to discuss them for content. It just came off really bizarre and much more obvious than her typical videos, because usually she's having a conversation with her camera.
Someone needs to make like a...
She was looking up a lot.
Someone needs to make one of those JCS crime-inspired videos where it's like, the video pause like, you could notice she looks up and to the left. This is, psychologists say that this is crime, right? Like, if you ever watched any of those the interrogation room videos. But
it was a lot more obvious than her typical videos. And, maybe it was nerves leading up to her appointment and having to discuss and face the doctor's office scale. I mean, I don't know. It just looked really bizarre. And other mentions from the video, she got a new scale because she's too wide for the one she had already had.
That's a good sign.
Was unable to point her feet forward due to the size of her legs and calves, and it was uncomfortable for her to do so. So she got a wider scale so she can hopefully just stand duck-footed, her feet pointing outward due to her size.
Jesus Christ.
And the scale's weight limit only goes to 550. So if she doesn't start losing instead of gaining hair soon, she will need one that's a little higher of a weight limit to accommodate her larger size.
That's a lot of women.
Yeah. She went on to claim that she still hasn't fully healed from her torn ligaments in her ankle, as she on occasion still feels pain while walking. The end of her video showed a haul of some more costume jewelry and earrings, with some of them being unnecessary because she wasn't going to use. They were like sets with earrings and I don't even know what else. But it was a necklace set and it came with earrings and something else. And she only wanted the necklace from the set. So, hello, Goodwill file. Also, it's so weird that Jade got her these really expensive stud earrings. And because of her one earlobe being pierced too low, she just won't wear them because it doesn't look right. But won't go and fix the issue by getting it pierced correctly. She got more games, a bullet journal book on how to efficiently bullet journal because she's bullet journaling now.
What is having more officially bullet journal? Draw the circle, write the thing you want to do, go down one line, draw another circle, write it again.
Also, why did this warrant a book purchase when she could have just did it online?
I could be a fucking author. How to write a bullet journal. Give me that job. Seriously.
Okay.
Right? The print has got to be the biggest size just so they have more than one page.
Yeah. That's all for Girl World content, I promise. At least for today. We are gonna move on to a quick review of Avatar 2 because that's what we went and saw tonight before we went out to dinner. We had like a little date.
We had a date
night.
night. One of the few date nights we've ever had since
One
being
of the-
together.
Yeah, I think this is our first date night since we've been married.
I mean, I think this is like our third date night since being together for 7 years.
Well, that's like never.
I mean, because like an actual date night, yes, we spend time with each other, but like getting like kind of nicely dressed up and going out never happens. And it never happens just the two of us. There's always either another person or,
Our little one.
or our family.
Yeah.
Very rarely is it just me and Ashley. Which it wasn't even supposed to be. It wasn't even supposed to be. It just turned out this way. So, kind of nice.
Anyhow, Avatar 2, what's your take on it, Lee? Did you like it?
Yeah, I fucking hate Avatar 1. I have been very open about this, and Ashley has liked Avatar, and I've always said, not interested. I'm going to be very brief with my review of Avatar 2. I think if you don't like Avatar 1, definitely it's worth checking out. I mean, it's long.
Yeah, it's
Don't get me wrong, it's long. So if you really, really didn't like Avatar 1, maybe it's not for you. But it is definitely... James Cameron is the king of sequels. I mean, Aliens, Terminator 2, those are two of the best sequels.
Titanic 2.
Yeah. Jack's still not playing. No, but like James Cameron, known for making badass sequels. And this, while it's not on the level of Aliens or Terminator 2, it was pretty damn cool. Like, there was a lot of really good action, and I think that if what you didn't like from Avatar 1 was maybe a lot of the exposition, this definitely got into the action right away. And then it slowed down and kind of gave you, like, the story behind the new clans and stuff. But then, I would say there was about an hour and a half of kind of downtime, but the rest of it was pretty action-packed. And, like, really cool action, too. Like, I really liked a lot of the action scenes. All the acting was good. It was a nice follow-up. I think that they did a good job of, you know, as someone who doesn't remember the first movie, like, at all, even though I've seen it twice, I think they did a really good job of, you know, like, I didn't feel lost.
Yeah.
I didn't feel lost at all in the movie. Like, I was like, okay, I remember very bare minimum strokes of the movie, and it's been over 10 years since the original movie, and I didn't feel lost. I felt like, okay, you know, good sequel. The, you know, CGI obviously was fucking good. Like, you cannot deny the fact that these movies look good. I could have done with a little less stuff. I don't know what I'd cut, because honestly, the only thing I could see cutting would be the, like, whale shit. But honestly,
No, because that...
well, what I'm saying is
Sorry.
it came in so important in the end that, like, I wouldn't cut that.
My little review of the movie, the only thing that I would have changed was I wish they didn't kill Neteyam.
Well, hold on, rewind. You need to give a spoiler alert. If you're gonna spoil the movie, you need to tell.
I mean, if it's a review of the movie,
Yeah,
I feel like that is a given.
No, I think that it's not a given. If someone,
I'm sorry. The movie's been out for like
okay,
a month now.
all right.
I will put spoilers in the information bar. But I wouldn't have killed off Neteyam. I feel like they started to build up his character, and then he kind of fell by the wayside for Loek, his little brother. And then they killed him off, and it's like, why did we view him as the protector and then kill him off? Especially in the first meeting. I feel like if they were gonna kill him off, maybe wait until the next movie, but even then I'm like, why would they kill him? Oh, he was so nice.
Yeah, I think he was one of my favorite characters of the movie. He had definitely the best, which he was one of my favorite characters, but he also was the most kind of like boring character in the sense of pretty much didn't do anything wrong, was always there, was the quintessential like
Big brother.
Right, big brother, good guy. And he had the least amount of actual like character. I think the little brother obviously had a lot more going on with the fact that he's always messing up, and like the big brother's like,
Yeah, they really painted him well as the outcast.
but I still enjoyed the character just because it was like every time he was there, it was like cool. He's, you know, he's being a cool guy. But yeah, he definitely had the least amount of like character development. He just was kind of the like good big brother.
Yeah. I really enjoyed seeing more of Pandora. I like how the story has changed a little bit from the first Avatar. The first Avatar, when the quote-unquote sky people came, they were basically farming the planet for fuel and energy sources. And now they've came back and are essentially just wanting to take over the planet because Earth is dying and Pandora is similar to Earth.
Yeah, they gave a couple reasons. Like they have obviously
and they're farming the whales.
Right. They've got the AITA,
Yeah.
which they're using for, you know, obviously for super rich people,
Yeah.
which makes sense. And then they're also trying to make it habitable so they can move off of Earth. I wonder if we're ever gonna get like a backstory of what's actually going on Earth, like why they need to move.
I mean, I think they will eventually, especially if it's going to be war.
I would love
This quote-unquote sky people
Right.
and all of the inhabitants of Pandora, because that's essentially, I think, what Jake's going to do. He's going to recruit other clans.
like honestly, you know, they spend hours like in Pandora and all this shit, like giving backstory. I would be down for the next movie, have like an hour straight up of just showing you what the fuck's going on Earth and like how they're figuring out all this stuff about Pandora. Like I think that would be really interesting, even if it was like maybe just like a prologue, kind of like here's like what led to them finding Pandora and like kind of like, you know, Jake. I really enjoy the Jake's kind of monologues throughout the movie, kind of narrating
Yeah.
it. I always like that in movies, and I like that. I would love kind of maybe a monologue kind of explaining like this is why we looked for it. And I'm sure they did it in the original movie, but it'd be nice to kind of see just explaining everything that's going on in Earth. But other than that, I thought the movie's good. I think it's definitely worth a watch. It's long, but you know, it's
And
one.
it's 2 middle fingers up.
Yeah, that one's crazy. But no, I think it's definitely you know, it's a 3-hour movie that feels.
It didn't feel like
It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like 3 hours. I think if we weren't waiting to have dinner and
hadn't eaten anything.
hadn't eaten anything, I think it would have been definitely like. Also, like those were very uncomfortable seats compared to what we're usually used to. Because
Yeah.
we got the cheapest seats, which is fine. You know, $5 is good price for a ticket, but you don't get the seats that, you know, recline and all that shit
Yeah.
that you kind of get used to now. Other than that, though, good movie. I'm happy I saw it.
All right, and now we are on to the Am I the Asshole content that everybody, well, I don't know everybody on my page is excited for, but
You're gonna be excited and you're gonna like it.
you're going to like it. We're going to start with, am I the asshole for my boyfriend putting hot sauce on food?
No.
Oh no, it's been removed.
Well, what do the people say?
Okay, they have the synopsis down here, so I'm going to go ahead and read from that, even though they removed it.
Which means that they didn't like the answers they got.
Am I the asshole? I like to try out new recipes and cook things my boyfriend really likes and don't cook the things I actually enjoy. For the most recipes, I spend hours in the kitchen and I buy all the ingredients myself. He rarely pays me back for this. Now, for a couple of months, he always puts extremely hot sauce on everything I cook. I tried the hot sauce too, and I couldn't eat it. Even a tiny bit of it, although I can handle spices and hot sauces quite well. When I cook less cheap meals, he never puts hot sauce on it. For a month now, I've kept quiet and don't like when he slathers his hot sauce on the expensive meals I make and spend hours in the kitchen on. Today, it happened again. I made a new recipe, which again, I paid for and spent over an hour cooking and cleaning afterwards. And right before I was going to serve him the food, he proudly said, "You know what I'm doing? I'm getting the hot sauce." I couldn't handle it anymore. It made me so angry that, in his words, I was freaking out. It ended in a very bad fight, and I told him that it hurts me that I've spent hours in the kitchen to please him, and he proudly said that he will put hot sauce on that it'll ruin all the taste. Am I the asshole for calling him out?
Yes, because you didn't do this for him, because you know what he likes. You did it for you, and you got pissed off that he's not sitting around praising your fucking cooking. And then you're like, I don't even ask him to pay me back. He didn't ask you to cook the fucking food. You're the one who wants to try out new meals and new recipes.
Also, hot sauce is just a condiment. Like, why? I don't understand the issue.
It's like McDonald's getting mad that you put ketchup on their burgers. Like, look, yes, the guy likes spicy food.
That would be like me getting mad that you put buffalo sauce on everything.
I mean, I understand her point of view. I get it. You're making these meals, and essentially he is not tasting the way that you intended it to be tasted. But also, to be fair, then stop cooking for him. If you want to put parameters on how he can eat the food, then stop cooking him food. And if he asks, hey, why aren't you cooking me food? Even though that's still a dick move, by the way. But at least you could say, like, well, I know that you really like hot sauce on it, and so figured I'd just let you make whatever you want and put hot sauce on it. That being said, she never said he doesn't try it. She never said he doesn't eat it. All you said is
that he puts hot sauce on.
She doesn't like what he puts on it, which is like, that's the most, like, she's cooking to be praised, and she wants to be praised for her cooking, and she's not getting enough praise because he's adding hot sauce, and she's unhappy. But the truth is, then don't feed him. Then if you can't
go without.
That's like saying I got somebody a gift and they didn't give the reaction I wanted, and I'm mad about it. They said thank you, but they didn't cry. You know what I mean? Like, well, then, you're not doing it to give them a gift. You're doing it because you want to feel good. You're doing yourself a favor. She's doing herself a favor by cooking these elaborate meals and expects them to be like, you're the best cook of all time.
The next one we're going to move on to is, am I the asshole for telling my friend hard truths about her spending addiction? I have a friend, 36 female, that complains to me on a regular basis about having no money and how she can't progress in life as a result. She forever overspends money on herself and her boyfriend, but then when her and I hang out, she constantly makes us do cheap or free things because she can't afford anything. But then she will tell me about something expensive she bought herself when she gets home the following week. Extra context here. We are long-distance best friends and only see each other a few times a year. She has some mental health issues, mostly around anxiety and OCD, possibly an undiagnosed borderline personality disorder. She's employed full-time with a decent job. Her parents are not wealthy. Her boyfriend isn't much better than her with money and is also in constant debt, to the point of ignoring bills for months because he will spend money on himself instead of paying them. House is 100% her boyfriend's, and she doesn't really have any other friends. So in the last 5 years or so, she has had over $15,000 handed to her by her parents, and she managed to spend every penny of it on stuff. It usually is spent within a matter of weeks from her getting the money. Her drawers in her boyfriend's house are full, and I mean full, of hundreds of skincare products, mostly unused. Clothes, makeup brushes, makeup, shoes, handbags, a puppy, Deliveroo multiple times a week. I'm assuming that means delivery.
I think it's
like takeout. Stocking her house cupboards with multiples of the same products, tattoos, crafting supplies for her monthly new hobby, and much more. To add to this, she's in debt with multiple store cards and has a loan she's paying off, yet she's forever buying things on Klarna when she has no money. During these monthly breakdowns, she also complains about how she wants to have kids soon, although this is a regular conversation topic for her regardless, but she doesn't know how she's going to afford it. I just don't know what to say anymore. I don't think she should bring a kid into the world if she can't properly provide for it. That really concerns me. Her spending is out of control, but I don't know if I can realistically tell her that she needs to be more sensible with her money. I feel I'd be overstepping that mark, but it doesn't seem like she has anyone sensible around her to have a strong word with her. Her parents are no use, and when they do give her money, they tell her to treat herself. I just feel like I'm having the same conversation with her again and again, and it's getting harder to be neutral and supportive about it. I also don't want to see her in a shitty financial position, with the kid in the mix too. But she's the type that doesn't deal well with real talk, and will probably shut down for a few days or so if I'm being negative. Am I the asshole if I tell her the truth and what I really think?
No. And I'll tell you why. All of this stuff is her problem, right? And at the end of the day, she's a friend, and, you can tell her in a nice way, tell her in a mean way. When she starts to complain to you and expect sympathy, that is when you, if it was just, you notice that she's spending a lot, and you, feel the need to say something, yeah, you're an asshole, because she's gonna learn this lesson, it's none of your business. When she's complaining around you and saying, I don't have any money, but then you know for a fact that it's because she's spending money everywhere else, and she, goes into cheat mode when she's around you, yeah, you absolutely have the right to say something. I honestly think that this sounds like a person that is not worth being friends with. It just seems like somebody who is kind of, a pain in the ass, honestly. The fact that they sit around and complain about money, yet you know for a fact they spend all this money, get $15,000 for their parents and all that shit. But no, you're not an asshole, because you didn't ask. They bring up the topic of, man, I don't have any money. Yeah, well, I know why you don't have any money. It's because you're spending it all. But you want sympathy from me.
This is a subject that I know a lot of people with personality disorder, borderline personality, bipolar disorder struggle with, because in manic episodes, there is a spending addiction. Well, no, I shouldn't even say addiction. Through manic episodes, a lot of the times people will go and spend a lot of money as a form of an outlet for that manic episode.
Right.
Some people clean, some people shop, and this seems like the friend is a shopper. And while I can't fault her for that, I do fault her for complaining to her friend about her financial situation when she probably knows good and well why she's in the situation she's in.
Right.
And she's not doing anything to fix it.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing, where it's you're not an asshole because you're being drug into this kind of situation. Without it's not like you brought it up. She's bringing up this problem, and to be fair, it seems like this person, if it's really that bad, they need some harsh truths.
Also, a lot of this sounded like Amberlynn.
Honestly, a lot of this sounds like me. And I think about it because when my friends we spend money all the time, and then they're like, let's go out to lunch, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to spend money. It's yeah, but you spend money all the time at home. It's just kind of this thing where, it's not about wanting to not spend money. It's about having an excuse to not to not have to do something you don't want to do. That's this person. That's what it sounds like this person is doing, where it's they want to spend money on tattoos and stuff, and then it's hey, let's go out to lunch. And it's I don't really want to do that, so let's go the cheapest route. Because it's they don't really want to do that with you. That's the thing. It just seems like that's kind of my thought process. But yeah, it also seems like Amberlynn and that kind of shit.
Yeah, with the spending and stuff.
Yeah. And
having multiples of stuff that they never use.
But no, I don't think that person's the asshole for wanting to say it. Honestly, though, if I was that person, I would just say, hey, I don't want to talk about your money issues.
Yeah.
But this person seems like they kind of want attention for it, which then it's well, you're going to get the attention you don't want.
Yeah. Next one is, am I the asshole for telling my husband that I won't pay more bills while he is laid off?
Yes.
This one I chose in particular because of our current situation. Not that I feel like I wouldn't pay any bills but I just felt like this was something that was probably closer to what we would be going through. Anyhow, my husband has been laid off for 3 weeks now. He works in trade where this isn't uncommon, and he Saved some money to help supplement unemployment for when this time came. Well, he's getting less from unemployment than he expected, and his savings is dwindling quickly. We also both contribute to shared savings, which will be tapped into if necessary. My friend's husband owns a business and offered him $1,000 a week for some outdoor labor side work under the table. My husband won't call because he thinks he will be fine without it and is saving it as a last resort. Well, last night he asked if I can start paying a few extra bills while he is off. I initially said yes, but then got to thinking, why should I fork out more money so he can sit home and watch TV, nap, play video games all day? He could work 1 to 2 days.
Did you write this?
No, I did not write this. He could work 1 to 2 days to make up this amount and enjoy the other days off at home if he wanted. We have a 1-year-old who goes to daycare every day, and this is literally what his day looks like. He had projects he wanted to get done, but hasn't touched them. We've only been together 2.5 years, and this is the first layoff we've gone through, so still navigating it. But I always take care of myself. If I were laid off, I'd be hustling to pay my bills, not expecting someone else to pay them. I'll add that he does pay a majority of the bills. He pays the mortgage while I pay all the utilities, and we split daycare costs 60-40 and split our food service plan. He wanted to do daycare 50-50 and me pay the food delivery, which will be $300 to $400 more added to my responsibilities. He makes more than double my income. While I can afford to pay this, it will eat nearly all of my discretionary income for the month. Am I the asshole for telling him I'm not going to pay more than usual because I'm essentially paying for his vacation?
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first on this one.
Why the fuck are you married? What is the point of being married? Look, I understand, like, it's one thing if you're both fucking rich and you have to sign a prenup. Why do people get married and then they go about being like, you owe this, you owe this? This is the point of marriage, is a partnership. They no longer is she paying her half. It is their mortgage. It is their utilities. It is their child. It is their delivery. He loses his job. She needs to help out. She loses his job. He needs to help out. Now, I'll say this. She's right on the fact that he's sitting around at home when he's offered money. I'm not denying the fact that it seems to me like he could be doing more. But it also seems to me like they've been together for 2.5 years and it fucking shows, because there's zero part of this that makes it sound like they're a team. And it seems like this sounds like roommates, not people who are married. This is how I went when I lived with my best friend. It was, you're part of the rent, you're part of the groceries, you're part of this. I wasn't fucking married to him, but that's okay. We are married. Yeah. You lose your job. I'm not sitting around being like, you're not pulling your weight. Yes, I expect you to get a job, but I also we don't split things like, the only things we split is the fact that some things come out of your account, some things come out of my account. It has nothing,
and that's just because of
it has nothing to do with, like, is your responsible to pay this? It's like, no, you're just paying this because it's simple. We put all our money in one account together. We did that before we were married, and we do that now. Look, it may not be the smartest thing. I get it. But it just, to me, people who are married and have kids and then, like, have these separate accounts and are very anal about them being separate, it just, to me, it comes off like people who are not trusting of their partner and are trying to protect themselves from a situation that, like, could happen. And if you're getting married, I hate the idea of people getting married with the idea of it not working out. Look, I understand the statistics, and, like, even prenups I'm kind of fine with, but at the end of the day, if you're getting a prenup, why are you getting married in the first place? If you think there's a chance it couldn't happen, if you think there's a chance that it could end poorly, then you probably shouldn't be doing it, because the difference between marriage and dating, to me, it's such a small fucking difference that if you don't trust your partner enough to marry them fully, then don't do it. That's my personal take on it.
I think both people are assholes in this situation just because he could be taking these jobs that are paying underneath the table from their friend to help their financial situation. And then also the fact that he's just expecting her to take on more of the responsibility just because he isn't willing to take these jobs that seem to be possibly under him or that he doesn't want to do.
Or he may not want to do like manual labor.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, if you are jobless and it's only asking like 1 or 2 days of the week for you to do these labor intensive jobs, I think you just need to suck it up and do it for the betterment of your family financial situation.
Yeah, I totally think that this guy is not a saint who's been wronged by the evil witch wife. I will just say her wording of things makes it seem like they are not a team and they are just, she's paying her half and he's paying his half. And if like what is she going to do if he doesn't pay her mortgage? If he doesn't pay the mortgage? You know what I mean? Like, you live in the house, you share the house.
You guys all eat the groceries.
Right. You're supposed.
They're dependent upon the daycare.
You're supposed to be a team, and if somebody goes down, you guys will work together. Now he's not pulling his weight either because, being a team means you both need to put your responsibility. Like, okay, like yes, I recently lost my job, and if I sat around and didn't apply for jobs or whatever, like I wouldn't be doing my part. But it is also, I don't expect Ashley to say like, hey, you know what, you don't get to eat this week because you're not making enough money or you're not paying your half of the rent. It's like, I mean, shit, we're in this together. Like, why do people have a fucking kid? Why do people get married? And then, this is their reaction. This is why marriages don't work. This is why shit doesn't work out because
you can't be a team.
Right.
There's no I in team.
Yeah.
But
there's an I in divorce, so have fun with that.
And on that note, I think that's going to be the end of the podcast for the night.
I still think you wrote that, and that was your secret way of telling me to stop playing video games, taking naps.
No.
I apply to jobs.
But we covered a lot. This is going to be on the longer side. And I'm going to try to get it all edited before I go to bed tonight. So wish me luck.
Yeah, I just also want to throw out, we talked about me losing my job. I do stream on Twitch. If anybody wants to follow me on Twitch, I'm working towards 50 followers. So it's twitch.tv/LiamTheDM. Me and Ashley are planning on a big stream once the Last of Us show is done. We're going to stream the second game because I've never played it. So it's going to be, we'll probably give our little review of the show, kind of talk about it, and probably try to stream it a couple times a week. Depending how long it takes. But yeah, something to look forward to, kind of see more of us, and as Ashley's channel kind of grows into more about her.
Yeah.
I'm
trying to shift more away from Gorlworld and more into like, am I the asshole? Maybe some more political stuff. I know some people aren't a fan of it, as I did receive some like pushback from our gun control talk. It didn't sway me at all, but I did get some pushback from it.
Hey, everybody's allowed to have their
opinion, people are allowed. We're allowed to disagree on things. That's the beauty of being human and having a voice on the internet. You're allowed to disagree.
But if you think that assault rifles should be put in the hands of kids, you're fucking wrong and stupid. So, on that note, I will shut up so you can edit.
On that note,
follow me on Twitch. We can yell at each other.
But that's gonna be it for tonight. You guys for listening, and bye.
Bye.